Conversation with Dayo and Tola. Conversation.
A beautiful morning to you from wherever you're listening across the world. This is Oluyole 98.5 FM and it's a conversation with Dayo and Tola. I am Oladayo Ogunbowale.
I'm Tola Teriba. Good morning.
Every 6:30 to 7:30 a.m. on this station is Conversation with Dayo and Tola, where we give you newspaper review, top-notch analysis, where you also get to contribute from wherever you are across the world. This is a network program, radio network program on the Broadcasting Corporation of your state, which means live out of our Oluyole 98.5 FM studios right here at Iliakede Orita Basharon Studios. We're also coming to you live via our sister stations, to it Agility 92.1 FM and Okyogo 96.3 FM. Good morning to all our listeners on our feedback channels: facebook.com/Oluyole 98.5 FM and Twitter at Oluyole FM. So on those two major channels I just mentioned, Facebook and Twitter, you can watch us live audio visually on those two platforms. Our website remains the same: www.bcus.tv/listen. Also live, you can check us out also on Instagram at Oluyole 98.5 FM, Radio Garden, and mixler.com/Oluyole FM. In due course, we'll open the phone line for you to join the discussion of the day. Today is Tuesday, the 4th day of the 8th month of the year 2020. Where are you? What are you doing? Are you still on the bed? Get up! It's a big day. You can do something wonderful with today. So get up, get going, achieve something with today. And if you've got nothing to go do out there, stay at home. COVID-19 is still out there. Okay? So once again, you are welcome. We go straight to the papers. I have a copy of the Punch newspaper.
Yes, and I have a copy of the Nigerian Tribune.
Publish loan details of face legal action. NLC, TUC, others tell federal government. As rider Nigerians facing harsh economic difficulties despite high accumulated debts. Labor orders. We have APC PDP trade words over $2.4 billion Chinese loan. Failed $400 million Abuja CCTV project. That's on page 2 and 37 of the Punch newspaper.
I almost thought it was a setup actually blowing hot there. They are always the ones at the forefront of it.
Setup started it. TUC NLC has joined.
Well, tell your party to account for failed $460 million Abuja CCTV project loan. APC replies article at on page 8 of the Nigerian Tribune.
Okay, that's how we lose sight of the main issue. You did this. No, you did not do that.
It was me. It wasn't me. It was you.
All right. Who stole the meat from the cooking pot? Nigeria's oil projects threatened as IOCs suffer $27.8 billion loss. That's on page 30 of the Punch newspaper.
Nigeria's debt stock rises to 30 trillion naira. That's on page 6 of the Nigerian Tribune.
You said what again?
30 trillion naira.
You hear this money sometimes. Somebody's. Okay. All right. And the NCDC tracking 11,000 COVID-19 contacts nationwide. And that's page 37 of the Punch newspaper. NCDC tracking 11,000 COVID-19 contacts nationwide.
That should be more than that. Politics. PTF, INEC in talks on measures to stem COVID-19 at elections, page 25 of the Nigerian Tribune.
Wow. Okay.
I've always wondered how they are going to go about this, but I guess they have foolproof plans in place.
Okay. Schools have started resuming. At least Picture Speak shows Lagos students, back in school, and thus far, all is well. All is well. Resumption, stay at home. Federal government tells students with cough, other symptoms. Page 2 of the Punch newspaper.
Also, banner headline of the Nigerian Tribune. As schools reopen today, federal government orders returning students to undergo temperature check. Begins decontamination of Unity schools. Ogun makes COVID-19 test-free for boarding students. Delta allows only 20 students in class, and Kwara distributes face mask. I think that story about Ogun, I think it also involves the private schools, which means they might have been a U-turn on the.
Yes, they eventually change their mind, although with no apology attached. I do discriminate and say because you're in public school. Sometimes you wonder who helps these people make decisions sometimes.
I realize the Nigerian government would always test the waters, governments at
really to people's lives.
Okay. Let's throw it to them. Let's see if they will take it.
Okay. All right.
At least they listen.
They have done that in the first instance. Well, okay. Don't let FIRS kill. Bury Naipost. Postal Service chairman cries out. Naipost. Okay. Page 31 of the Punch newspaper. Don't let FIRS kill. Bury Naipost. Postal Service chairman cries out.
I don't want to sound pessimistic.
I also wanted to say something about that. Okay. Let Naipost be.
TUC plan protest over EFCC, NDDC, NSITF corruption. EO advised, says presidency. That's on page 28 of the Nigerian Tribune.
Okay.
They should have kept quiet.
Exactly. That's the point.
Got more attention to the whole thing.
That's just it. That's just it. And Kalu Dwaha Ibori disagree with Akpabio over alleged NDDC contracts. Page 8 of the Punch newspaper.
Air Peace sacks 70 pilots, slashes salary. That's on page 6 of the Nigerian Tribune. And that's a sign of the times, actually.
Wow. It's also here. Epic sacks 70 pilots, others blames coronavirus downturn. That's on page 29 of the Punch newspaper right here.
I know the sheer impact of this COVID-19 virus. There are some professions that you normally think that definitely you cannot be in the unemployment market. We talk of medicine, talk of pilots. They cannot be in the unemployment.
It looks like that until the world shut down. When you lock down, everything goes off, and so rebooting will need a lot of support, time, and all that. So how they are able to manage it, and then I think the major issue here, especially with big businesses, is that a lot of them had been running on debt. Okay, so if they fail to turn up for 1 month, debt mounts up. So, and unfortunately, there's hardly tax relief, debt relief, moratorium in this part of the world. It's not really a major point of consideration for government, and I mean federal government here. They are just thinking of support. We are talking people who are owing billions in US dollars. Can you talk to the banks? Okay, so, and if that is not happening, these guys have to pay. They just have to pay. And if you ask me, it's easier to look at those who are younger or lower on the on the scale. Mr. Pilot, you people will pay you let's go and stay at home first when we are done. Moreover, it might be happening to the pilots now, but the truth is, during the the major lockdown, people had been collecting stay at home. That's the truth, especially banks and all that. A lot of private organizations have been laying people off, especially those who discover that so some people can actually work from home. We don't need this. We don't need that. Exactly. It's around, and it's important to also make this known that it's not just about Nigeria. It's all over the world. It's all over the world.
There was a story about a major departmental store chain, a major conglomerate that the story said they were leaving Nigeria, that they were packing their bags and because of COVID-19. But the management eventually came up to say that they are not leaving.
You know what, Tola, I think that story, I told some people, I said, let's give it a week. You know why? Because they are, headquarters in South Africa came out, gave a release, and it was clearly stated there that they will be discontinuing in Nigeria. It's obvious, okay?
It says that they said they are only re-strategizing.
I see that word now. PR. Somebody got paid to spin the story to make it look like we are still around. They are selling. It's obvious. So that's why I said let's give it a week. If they are going to be selling to anybody, by Friday we should know better. So that once we just give them the benefit of doubt, at least for now, that's the much one can say as it is. The story of Ogun and 25,000 COVID-19 test fees. Also here, Ogun Buckles reverses private students 25,000 naira COVID-19 fee. That's on page 7 of the Punch newspaper. They're supposed to apologize actually.
Well, let's be glad that they are at least listening to the voice of the people.
All right.
Attack on Zulum shows we are all vulnerable. Governors. Page 27. I told you that attack on Zulum would generate some reactions.
They will beef up their security. And double it. Because they can afford to.
Okay, their own security, not the security of the community.
Okay. All right. Second NNPC XGMD dies within 3 months. Second NNPC XGMD is dead just within the space of 90 days. Big 30 of the continuous paper.
Coincidence.
Okay.
Ondo Guba, Rally Ram Jagade PDP group tells NWC, and Edo Guba will never endorse Obaseki Ize Iyam. Family declares.
Oh, so who are those people with pot belly that we saw on TV? You know, when I saw those guys, these guys need money. So we are family member, we are disowning somebody. I said, okay. Now the family has come and I said, no, we are not. All those ones are miscreants. Because they bear the same name with me.
Okay, is a young family declared that they never endorsed Obaseki? Oh.
It was on TV, no? There's some family members saying, he's our brother, but we don't want him. I said, this one's. Maybe by sheer luck, they happen to be bearing the same name.
Politics.
So they wanted to cash out.
Politics.
Enough stuff. It happened in both sides too now. So Obaseki guys too came out and said they're endorsing some dirty politics. Welcome to Nigeria. Well, this interesting story is here. Man dies after Beninese herbalist defrauds family of 5 million naira. Now wait for this. Suspect builds house with proceeds. Can you imagine? You're going to defraud someone and use it to build a house. Well, it's been caught. Pages 4 and 5 of the newspaper.
COVID-19 vaccines now in phase 3 clinical trials, says WHO. That's on page 25 of the Nigerian Tribune.
Sounds like some good news. Some really, really good news that we can look forward to right there. Okay, let me see if there's some more economy things. Okay, politics anyway. Ondo, we didn't substitute candidates' names, says INEC. And then we have Ondo Deputy Governor set to resign from PDP. Edo politics is also here. PDP asks Mole to present primary 6 certificate. Okay. You know he's a tailor, professional tailor. What else are you looking for? Leave that one. They know now. They off that mic. Edo Deputy Speaker orders support Ize Iyam. Still on Edo politics there. Obaseki takes campaign to Edo North, receives royal blessing.
Well, the season of denials, NDDC probe Uduaha dismisses reported 429 million naira road contract allegation. NDDC yet to pay contractors that handled road projects I facilitated, says Oji Kalu. Kalu is saying here that even what you are accusing me of was never paid for in the first instance. And NDDC warns Nigerians against scammers offering fake jobs. And of course, scammers would cash in on all this now because Nigerians have seen that NDDC is a cash cow. I think secondary to the NNPC from what we are seeing in recent times.
Well, let's see how that ends. SON stakeholders move to reopen tourism industry. We need that industry back.
One of the many areas we've not been looking at in this country.
And some countries actually even entirely dependent on this Caribbean countries island. Even the UK. Yeah. I mean, so countries that you think they are making a lot of money from people visiting. Talk of Dubai now. Just they make money from others coming to spend money in their country, and it's good business. They've been cashing out all along. It's good business. Well, NYC passing out without fanfare. Higher education story there. Well, it has to be like that because they can gather in a large number. And okay, any more story before we go sports?
On schools opening. Okay, we took that earlier. All returning students must undergo temperature check. Now, low turnout as SS3 students resume in Lagos. Southeast governors order teachers, students to undergo COVID-19 test. That's more COVID-19 stories there.
Okay. I think we're going to go to sports right now. I'm already on the sports page of the Punch newspaper, page 43. Laurentiis Gattuso, reason Osimhen joined Napoli, says agent. We have everyone wants 15 million euros for Ejuke. Fans to Solskjaer, start Igalo in Europa League. That goes without saying. He has been starting in Europa matches. He has no choice. So fans are telling him, bros, Audio Igalo must start. No story. This is his cup. Oh yeah, he must play this one. Yes, our playoffs. Fulham striker Mitrovic fit for final. And we have 2021 elections. Ministry approves Judo Federation's constitution. Ex-stars frown on influx of overseas-born players in Eagles. They are still Nigerians now. That they are born abroad does not make them. I mean, should there be an issue about this? Especially if they are better. I mean, skills-wise. They are Nigerians. They deserve to play, whether they are born in UK or Egypt or Tanzania, wherever they are born, they are Nigerians. Yeah, they deserve to be treated as such. I think that's the much on sports right here. Okay, Lampard wants fair treatment for tired Chelsea. Osimhen's Napoli image. Yes, they agree they are tired. So much injury and all that. Osimhen's Napoli image rights deal through brand expert. And we have Iheanacho, we get better. That's on page 46 of the Punch newspaper. That's the last sports story right there.
That's some 12 sports stories in the Nigerian Tribune this morning.
Quite a lot for a Tuesday morning. Okay, so let's go straight to major stories. Time check 6:50 a.m. Destination time remains 7:30 a.m. right here on Oluyole 98.5 FM. It's the conversation with Dayo and Tola. Straight to major stories.
I'd like to take this story on the gas boost between APC and the federal and the PDP over the issue of loans. Tell the party to account for failed $460 million Abuja CCTV project loan. APC replies Atiku. And I was going to page 8 of the Nigerian Tribune. The All Progressive Congress APC has upbraided former Vice President and People's Democratic Party PDP presidential candidate in the last general election, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, for expressing reservation over the contractual agreement between the federal government and its Chinese counterparts on the loan to fund ongoing railway projects in the country. And our article in a statement by its media aide, Paul Ibe, condemned the rapidly rising national debt, which he noted was not being utilized for productive ventures. The former presidential candidate equally restated his advice that the present administration should engage the private sector and promote foreign direct investment as sustainable alternatives through which government could fund infrastructural development programs. The APC in a statement on Monday, however, dismissed the former vice president's position as unresearched, unintelligent, and pedestrian. The APC National Public Secretary Yekin Nabena said, rather than raising the alarm on the standard sovereign guarantee and sovereign immunity clause embedded in Nigeria's own agreements with China, Atiku Abubakar at the PDP could redirect their energies to explaining to Nigerians the status of the failed $460 million Abuja closed-circuit television CCTV awarded in August 2010 by the immediate past administration. Nabena in the statement further argued that under the Austral ruling party, there was no fiscal discipline while loans guaranteed were not disbursed for projects they were meant for. And your party equally took questionable loans, APC replies Atiku, and they are also telling the PDP to account for failed $460 million Abuja CCTV project loan.
So it's do me, I do you. You too, you took loan and you didn't account for. We too, we can take loan that didn't account for. You see our life?
You know, I think there should be something like a special panel of inquiry that would bear the appellation of trust commission. I mean, something like the Oputa panel of the Obasanjo administration. And I mean, such a commission will be set up not necessarily for the sake of prosecution and punishment, but honestly to see and determine what went wrong in the management of national funds and finances, identify the perpetrators of high-level sleaze, and know who to trust and who not to trust with public funds, all with the sole aim of making sure these things do not happen again. Now, I say this because we all see what happens when we do try to prosecute, and endless battle in the legal corridors. At the end of it all, very few convictions are secured, and many culprits get away with a slap on the wrist. Now, I think the strategy is to ensure that it doesn't happen at all, rather than the sin and punishment option. Honestly, I begin to think this is the way to go.
It's a different thing for us to have a panel of inquiry. It's a different thing entirely to adopt the report of that panel and ensure that work gets done on it. I think we need to put in place institutions that will be truly independent of government, if it's possible in this country. In institutions that can actually try issues, and they will not look at anybody's face and say, after all, he brought me here. The FCC will do a good job, the ICPC will do a very good job if their leaders were not appointed. And there are different ways of getting leadership for this. I tell people, I say it's not a big deal. Allow the system to throw up the leadership for those places. Not that somebody just comes in and say, okay, I appoint, it will be loyal to you now. We have civil society organizations, we have professional organizations, Nigerian Bar Association. Okay, we have organizations that can throw up leaders part-time, and they know that this is the next person that will get there. Not that somebody just come and say, okay, we'll retire all the 5 on top. Hey, Wale, you are nice. So and that's what has been happening in Nigeria. You don't like the faces of those who are there, or maybe they are not from the ethnic group, then you look for somebody who will do your bidding. You retire the ones above and you put that person there. He will do your bidding. So until we can solve that problem, and the truth is it's beyond rhetorics, we just have to legislate on these things and ensure that we do the right thing. Until then, we'll keep having reports, inquiries. I mean, it will surprise you that the Magu issue and all that, Magu will eventually work. I kept telling somebody, I said, except Magu decides to go to court, this issue may never go to court, except Magu himself. decides to go to court. And that will just be the last. Since he left now, has the EFCC not been working?
Honestly, I think the bottom line, like you said, is to ensure that the right people not only man the anti-graft agencies, but the right people do get into public office. And
exactly.
There has to be a reorientation. Well, I know poverty to some extent has been weaponized by the political class.
Very unfortunate.
Even though we see the wrong candidates wanting to run for elections, we still go to the ballot to vote for that particular candidate based on the fact that he has some money to throw around.
Stomach infrastructure, they call it.
And well, I still insist that in getting rid of this particular challenge of mismanagement of public funds, I think the books should be open, maybe as far back as the last 16 years.
The book of life or death?
We could avoid things like this.
I get what you're saying.
Because now the APC is now referring to something that Nigerians have almost forgotten all about.
Unfortunately, they are using it to justify whatever action.
To justify their own actions.
Oh God. Here we are. Don't allow FIRS to kill us. Very nice postal service chairman cries out. The chairman of the Nigeria Postal Service, Maimuna Abubakar, says the Federal Inland Revenue Service has stolen the mandate of NIPOST. Sounds kind of politics when you hear mandates. Abubakar said this in a series of tweets on Sunday. The NIPOST chairman said the FIRS, which is the agency responsible for assessing, collecting and accounting for tax accruing to the federal government, had begun printing stamps. She subsequently called on Nigerians to ensure that NIPOST gets justice. Abubakar tweeted, quote, "I am worried for NIPOST, having sleepless nights because of NIPOST. Mama, how far? We need the general public to come to our aid. FIRS stole our mandate. FIRS are now selling stamps instead of buying from us. What is happening? Are we expected to keep quiet and let FIRS kill and bury NIPOST? We need to get our mandate. NIPOST is the sole custodian of national stamps. Another agency printing and selling stamps is against the law of the land." End of quote. Hajia is angry. The NIPOST chairman said the FIRS tactically removed our agency from the finance bill despite the contributions the postal service made to the bill. She further stated that the postal service had generated over 60 billion naira, which had been deposited in the Central Bank of Nigeria. Abubakar stated FIRS did not only steal our stamps but also our ideas. What NIPOST had worked for since 2016, our documents, patents, everything, sneaked into finance bill, and they tactically removed the name of NIPOST. She said, quote, "I like to make this clear. NIPOST is not the only agency charged with the responsibility of producing adhesive stamps and revenue for the purchase of such stamps accrues to NIPOST. There is nowhere in FIRS Act or Stamp Duty Act where it's so stated that FIRS can produce stamp or sell stamp. Don't allow FIRS to kill, bury NIPOST," Postal Service chairman cries out. Tola, same government.
You know, the man mentioned something about.
Is it for Hajia now?
Hajia. Now, he mentioned some referring to the law. Now, is there no constitutional provision that states whose purview it actually is to produce and sell stamps? And or is it that there is somebody in FIRS that has the heirs of the powers that be, and presents the ideas? She complained about ideas being stolen ideas presented to the powers that be, and rubber stamp. You can go ahead and take over the functions of NIPOST.
My challenge even here, Tola, is that normally, yes, there can be issues between parastatals, but is somebody in charge of all this? I mean, can we ever see the end of parastatals fighting parastatals on Twitter, on Facebook? This one too happened on Twitter yesterday. The NIPOST. You remember when they first said they wanted to collect money from Kada riders, dispatch services, and all that? Their minister, Pantami, went on Twitter and said, "Hey, NIPOST, stop that." I did not sign it, stop it on Twitter. Now, the same NIPOST is fighting on Twitter again. This time around, they are fighting FIRS. Really?
As if we are inside an aircraft without a pilot.
You took that from my mouth. But it's sometimes I wonder, Haba, really, all of you are appointed now by one person. I mean, somebody should just rein these guys in. Must you come to the public to be discussing this?
It shouldn't get to this.
It shouldn't. It should not. You are working for the same government now, or is Memuna PDP? I don't know. I'm worried. I'm worried because see, the truth is, when there's infighting, there cannot be development. Too. If you like, pray and fast for 100 years. If you like, let us be talking. If infighting continues like this, it will be disarray left, right, and center. This is not. We are not. Maybe we are not being dissenting voices here. We are not trying to. This is not pessimistic. It's a fact. When there's enemy in the camp, such an army can never move forward. There can't be development when people are fighting themselves inside, and there's nobody to caution them. A house divided against itself will definitely. You said it. That's it.
You know, in the FIRS and the night post matter. I know that's why I'm beginning to drop the possibility, not this boardroom politics, the politics in high place. You know, the Nigerian system. You are at the head of a particular organization, and again, like I said, you have the heirs of the powers that be. Definitely, even things that you are not supposed to do. Definitely, if you are found favor with the man in charge, I mean, with the man in charge of it all, if you found favor, definitely he will look away when you do certain things. I want to refer this. I want to kind of refer this to the military. You know, during the Abacha era, you know, the powers wielded by the CSO to General Sani Abacha, the military head of state. Then, the enormous powers he wielded, and he could do a lot of things. He could talk down to generals. He could actually you could actually walk out to a general from a room, from a meeting, and nothing would happen. So I'm beginning to suspect that somebody somewhere has the back of the FIRS, and perhaps this is why. Well, the presidency has been quiet so far on this.
Very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. Something needs to be done, because when there's infighting, forget it. There can't be development. You have another story there.
After attack on Zulum shows we are all vulnerable, and that's not coming from the Nigerian people. It's coming from leaders, governors, to be precise. NGF Security Committee holds crucial meeting today. They are taking this very seriously. The Nigeria Governors Forum NGF Security Subcommittee will today, Tuesday, hold a crucial meeting over growing concerns on the security challenges ravaging the country. I would say they want to discuss their own security. The chairman of the NGF, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, in a statement obtained by the Nigerian Tribune, unveiled plans to interface with President Muhammadu Buhari and the service chiefs on the worsening security situation across the country after the meeting. The NGF chairman also expressed solidarity with Governor Babangana Zulum of Borno State over last Wednesday's attack on his convoy by suspected Boko Haram terrorists. Dr. Fayemi said, on behalf of the 36 state governors of the Federal Republic of Nigeria under the platform of the NGF, I would like to express our solidarity with you and the people of Borno State following the last Wednesday's attack by gunmen suspected to be members of the Boko Haram sect. This is one unwarranted attack too many.
They know.
It epitomizes our collective vulnerability and the fragility of the country's security architecture. Attack on Zulum we are all vulnerable, says governors. NGF Security Committee holds crucial meeting today.
Okay.
You know, it's interesting, you know, the way the governors are now. Well, we have a commercial now. We'll come back to talk about this.
Don't go anywhere. Stay with us.
Oyo State Internal Revenue Service, under the Executive Governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde, has graciously approved the following incentives and relief in order to ease the burden of COVID-19 pandemic on our valued taxpayers. The deadline for filing of annual returns for individual taxpayers has been extended till 31st of August 2020. Also, the deadline for filing of annual returns of employees till 31st of August 2020. 25% reduction in the signage mobile sticker of Oyo State signage and advertisement policy. For more information, check newspaper for details or call 008-370-9494 or 003-344-8865. Always remember to stay safe. This message is from the Oyo State Internal Revenue Service under the Executive Chairman Aremo John Adeleke.
Conversation with Dio and Tola.
So glad to know you're there. It's still Conversation with Dio and Tola. So we'll do it Mondays through Saturday, 6:30 to 7:30 a.m. right here on Oluyole 98.5 FM. Are you just tuning in? I am Oladayo Ogunbowale.
I'm Tola Terima.
Yeah, we were discussing something before we went that break.
Yes, the governors, and I was saying it's quite interesting the way the governors are now seeming to find their voices on the issue of national security in this country after the attack on Governor Zulum. For instance, the issue of the rampaging killer Fulani herdsmen, for instance, only few of the governors have been very vocal on this matter, even here in the Southwest. And it is assumed that the governors were not able to find their voices on the killer herdsmen matter because the majority of them belong to Mr. President's party. Now, with this attack on Zulum, now the governors are coming together and now they are now saying that they want to have an interface with the president, something they should have done long ago.
All along, until it came close to one of them. Now they know that we may not have been invisible as we thought. So these guys can actually reach us. Let's do something about it. So they were comfortable before, right? Too bad.
Well.
So unfortunate.
Kind of complacent, I would say. And the ones, the issue of Southern Kaduna, for instance, I'm sorry to say this, the attitude of Governor Nasir El-Rufai to the killings in Southern Kaduna, well, his reactions have not been very encouraging, and always with a touch of bias, I would say, if we look at events in that part of the country. Now, of course, he is now part of the solidarity with one of them who has now been attacked. And I would say a case of fire actually burning your Babariga, and you are trying to put out the fire in somewhere else, and you are not looking at your Babariga that is already on fire. Well, I agree with them all the best. Well, it's encouraging anyway. If they are sincere,
they are taking a step. Okay, we'll see at that ends. Insecurity in Nigeria is taking a turn that it should worry every one of them. It should. Well, maybe this is the last straw that will break the camel's back, that will push them to do the necessary things.
And honestly, we should begin to look beyond politics. Insecurity, criminals actually don't recognize where you belong. Boko Haram, they kill Muslims, they kill Christians. So you begin to wonder, insurgency affects everyone. Terrorism affects everyone.
That's it.
At the end of the day, the typical terrorist doesn't care. If he wants to destroy a classroom full of children, for instance, he doesn't care whether children who are of his religion are in that classroom.
They don't give a hoot.
As long as, well, I'm going to kill more people from a particular religion. Well, he goes ahead and doesn't want to know. So, but it cuts across.
That's it.
It's not about it. So we should look beyond ethnicity, beyond religion. It is a collective fight. We must all stand up to stem and cover this menace.
Well, as we open the phone lines, Nigeria's oil projects threatened as IOCs suffer $27.8 billion US loss. Several major oil and gas projects in Nigeria may suffer further delays as international oil companies operating in the country saw their financials take a dive in the second quarter of this year. The slump in oil prices caused by the coronavirus pandemic has forced many companies, including IOCs, to slash their capital budgets and suspend some projects. The global oil benchmark Brent crude plunged to as low as $15.98 per barrel in April, its lowest since June 1999. It traded around $44 per barrel on Monday. Royal Dutch Shell said last Thursday that it posted a loss of $18.4 billion in the second quarter of this year, compared to a profit of $3.5 billion in the same period of 2019. Nigeria's oil projects threatened as IOC suffers $27.8 billion loss. The phone line is open. Your name, location, and your comment. 60 seconds. Oh, we lost our call. Feel free to join the conversation. 080-5500-9850. 080-5500-9850. Someone is here.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Okay, Mr. Ishola, please go ahead.
Thank you. Excuse me, Dr. Siki so record few years back on the field of Nigeria, and when we see Nigeria nation to promised land, this corruption and all these insecurity still continues 10 years or 15 years, more than that. Please, I want to ask, maybe I want to go back to God to continue praying. We look for solution ourselves, not to put all these politicians in, so we could see a better future. God bless you. Have a nice day, sir.
All right, thank you so much. I think prayer is still good. We can always count on God for such things. Thank you so much, Mr. Ishola, from Okaka. Someone else is here.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Morning, Aruna.
This is Aruna from Odoro, Gomasho.
You're welcome.
Mr. Adiachi, good morning this morning.
Good morning, my brother.
Well done. God Almighty is always your strength.
Amen.
Like you said yesterday that they asked the student in Ogo State that they should pay 25% for benefit. Who said they are not listening to your program? Now they've cancelled that they should not pay again. So that is we give kudos to this very program, 6:30 to 7:30, conversation between Dayo and Tola. And I want to comment on what Lampard said. Is it the only discipline in England that they have a tired leg? It's not the only one. They must play Bayern Munich to return leg. We want to see the outcome of Bayern Munich's return leg. Well done, sir.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Aruna. The Chelsea fans, they catch you. All right, the phone line is still open. 080-550-9850. I think someone else is here.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Mr. Dianti.
Good morning.
Good morning. We are from Ijiro Promotion.
Okay, nice to have you.
Ijiro Promotion.
All right, please go ahead.
Please, we don't have the news about that Ogun that he said that they should go and do this test in faith. We don't add it to your news today now.
Are you talking about the Madagascar COVID
That's
organics?
what I want to comment on.
All right, thank you very much. I think a decision has been made already about the Madagascar COVID organics, and they said it's a malaria drug. There's really no treatment per se for COVID-19. The phone line is still open. 080-550-9850. 080-550-9850. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
God bless you for the good job you are doing from day to day.
Amen.
God will increase your graces in Jesus' name.
Amen.
This is Dayo from Okeo.
Oh, nice to have you, sir.
Dayo that has not known Dayo, one of these days we shall know us.
Definitely one of these days, sir.
Now, on the issue of security, that these our people, our leaders, they are not committed, they are not after our own security. They are after their own security. Look at the case in Kaduna. The man is transparently biased.
Transparently biased.
I don't know. And even the president himself. The man that has retired as army general. And things are like this as far as security is concerned. there is no justification for it. But because they are biased, and look at these people just killing people with impunity. Well, let them all note this, that no sinner will go unpunished, except that doing God's will. This is not, God says, thou shalt not kill. And they're killing people day in, day out. The president is not, he wouldn't talk. And Governor El-Rufai is there. People are being killed massively in Southern Kaduna. God is on the throne. The day of visitation is coming. Let everybody take note of that. They can't go scot-free. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dyer from Okeo. Wow. Serious from Adiola Sunday on Facebook is saying good morning. Tola and I on school reopening. I wish all returning students in other states all the best. Comrade Adiola Sunday from Shaki. We have Ola Dimeji Manuel Oluyole saying good welcome. Okay, good morning. Odewumi Michael Olubomi on Facebook saying it's another beautiful morning to you, Tola and I. Well done, sir. From Ogbomo. Shall we go back to the phone line?
Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Alaji Ayelabogo is on the line from Lalate.
Nice to have you, sir. Go ahead.
I want to commend the Ogun State governor for acting to the voice of the people of Ogun State. As he stopped the payment of that 25,000 naira, that means he is a listening governor. Having said that, on security, we lament daily. We are in sober reflection every day. But my concern is that every day that we lamented, we didn't provide any solution or making an attempt to provide any solution to the security problem in the country. Now, anybody that wants to say something on security, they should provide solution to it. Now, let me start from saying, let's have state police and regional soldiers. That one would be a good step in the right direction. Secondly, let the government proclaim, and then the federal government, let them proclaim the state of emergency on security of the nation, especially in some states like Kaduna, Borno, and Adamawa. If we say we do this, I think we will stand tall.
Thank you so much, Alaji. And I think it's important, Alaji knows, and people who are listening, that is the fear of the executive governors. Because I'm going to declare state of emergency. The governors have to leave.
They would lose their
that is their number one fear. Why they would do small and check back. They don't want to talk too much so that they don't relieve them of their position.
The president would just say, okay, since you are complaining so much,
exactly.
That's it. Step aside for the time being and let's undo this matter.
Whereas they are enjoying the Okpaola Samson on Facebook say good morning, Diane and Tola. I want to commend that the position of NLCTUC requesting FG to expatiate expatiate on loan details. Another thing, sir, don't you think the 25,000 student testing in Ogun State can be likened to another means of IGR? IGR, okay. You are milking people. Well, thank God they said that will hold no more. We'll go back to the phone line.
Hello, good morning. Hello.
Good morning. Morning, sir.
I'm Mr. Falodu.
I'm Falodu for Papa.
Nice to have you, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, sir.
On the issue of food services, and federal and revenue, I think there's no coordination with the government. I've told this on different platforms that it's a very complex country. Since even Mr. President doesn't even know the right thing to do again.
Wow.
You see? That's sort of the president doesn't know what to do again. To me, it's very unfortunate. Mr. Good, Mr. Nice, doesn't produce good government in Nigeria because of Nigeria factors. It is short. But unfortunately, our own president does really have that action. That's what we time.
Wow.
But I just pray for that this country will not collapse.
Amen. Thank you so much, Mr. Faladu. Wow. Well, just as he said, that has always been his opinion. That is like you don't have a captain. I mean, I can remember, and he just reminded us here today. Wow. Okay, someone else is here.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. This is Chris from Ikene.
Oh, Mr. Chris, congratulations.
Thank you very much. I want to thank you this morning, Governor Biodo, for reversing the 25,000 naira decision.
Okay.
At the same time, I also want to call on school authorities to make efforts to clean and clear the schools of overgrown weeds, particularly in the public schools, so that snakes and other dangerous reptiles will not wake up one day and become candidates while the exams are going on. Secondly, for the minister who claimed to have spent over 500 million naira on school feeding programs, she should be able to provide invoicing for food purchase, addresses of pupils, feed, quality and quantity of food supply to justify her claim. They teach innocent children and corruptly enrich themselves. If they don't get judgment on earth, judgment is waiting for them in heaven. Finally, on insecurity in Nigeria, I think our government is getting tired. Security votes are not working. Money for purchasing weapons not working. Many security organizations have become businessmen and women. And security chiefs that are supposed to have retired years back are still there. Please, let's call for help from international organizations. Thank you and God bless.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Chris from Ikene in Ogun State. For those who are wondering which 500 million was he talking about, he was referring to the Federal Minister for Humanitarian Services and Disaster Reduction, who claimed there is in the headlines, school feeding program gobs over 500 million naira during lockdown. Okay. All right.
That's even small. I was thinking million should have said something billion.
That's half a billion, Tola. For children in their houses. Someone is here.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Tola.
Good morning, sir.
Hello, God bless PCS and the increase of your state. My name is Oluyole.
Nice to have you, sir.
Nice to have you, sir.
Hello. I'm calling from Yana Church.
Okay.
All right, nice.
Hello.
Please go ahead, sir. We can hear you.
So, the Bible says, this morning I want to digress a little bit. And my point will be on the TESCON job. You know, we have some people that cannot, that are unable to upload their details in the last exercise. I have learned that the exam will coming up soonest. Please, what will be the hope of those that are unable to upload their details? Good morning.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. Oluyole from Yana Church. I want to assure you that the necessary people they are listening right now. If there will be space for them to upload, it will be communicated. I know they extended it at a time. So if it's possible, that will be done. But I'm sure that Yantola cannot talk about that. We do not have control.
That's a question for TESCOM itself.
Someone else is here.
Hello, good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, my name is Mr. Shoyemi. I'm calling from Akron here.
Okay.
I have 2 or 3 issues to talk about. One, about the security matter. The issue of security, as far as Nigeria is concerned, these governors only came up to fight for themselves. All this while everybody kept quiet. Why? Because the government that is involved now has nothing to do with security, because we are there to fight for the Hausa Fulani people.
Oh, that's the way you say it.
Yes.
Wow.
But the truth is that everything that has to do with Hausa Fulani, this government will raise no eyebrow on it. Look at Kaduna, for instance. Hello?
We are with you. We are with you. But please,
Look at Kaduna, for instance. I happen to be in the north. I was in the north for 18 years. The Hausa Fulani have thought that they will take Kaduna, being the most fertile land in the north. And that is why all the governors and the president, everybody concerned that are supposed to do something concerning that place, kept quiet. Not that they didn't know what is going on. They deliberately want to wipe out that place so that the Hausa Fulani can take over. The same thing is the reason why they are pushing their people to the south. That is one. 2, the issue of FIRS and the NICE. Somebody is in government that is aiding FIRS as a godfather. And the same thing that they did to police pension, customs pension, go there and see how people are suffering today. They killed those pension agents to create the Pension Transitional Arrangement Department. You understand? Just because Good Luck and Okondo Iweala with somebody whom they made the chairman, the chairlady then of the church was there. They killed those agencies that is solely responsible for their staff. The only pension that exists now as far as federal government is concerned that stood their ground is the military pension.
All right.
Go and see what policemen are facing now. Go and see what customs officers that retired. Go and see what they are facing.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Asheyemi.
Crunching their own selfish tax.
All right.
They know what they are doing.
All right.
They are not here to help the masses.
Thank you so much,
They
Mr.
have said
Asheyemi.
it severally that until when Nigerians wake up to fight for themselves, that is when Nigeria will move.
Thank you so much for your comments, sir.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much. Please make it 60 seconds so that others can contribute on the show. Matthew Olalere on Facebook saying, good morning, DNT. On Ondo 2020, this Ajayi Agbola self is looking for power by all possible means. If Unayunka, he's now running from pillar to pole. It's good to have ambition, but to be ambitious is not good. Okay. Let's decamp to Apex Labour Party if he likes. The battle is between Akeredolu and Jegede. Yes, so from Mileo Sheya Delike Electronics. Good morning, guys. On the governors now becoming G2 on the issue of security after one of them was attacked. See life when innocent citizens were being killed. Did they talk? Now they are talking. What sort of leaders do we have? We'll go back to the phone line.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, sir.
Yes, I'm Reverend Babatunde calling from Lalate.
Nice to have you, Reverend.
Now I want to start from Ajayi Agbola. My advice for Ajayi Agbola is that he should not go to ZLP. It is better for him to remain in PDP or go back to APC where he left. So the battle is between Akeredolu and Jegede. So he should not waste his time. That is number one. The second issue is that the government of Nigeria, especially all our governors, should not think that students should pay a certain amount of money for COVID-19 test. Where do they want them to get the money? So I want to thank Ogun State government for rescinding his decision that the student will no longer pay. That is how it should be. Right. So they should not think of paying anything at all. Then concerning the students that are resuming, especially the SS3 that are writing WAEC, yes, let them continue like that. The timetable is okay like that. So we Nigerians like it.
Well, it's been cancelled. Last call, 30 seconds.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah.
Nice to have you, sir. Please go ahead briefly.
My comment is just to thank
Oh, that was not us, but that will be our last call for today. Thank you so much for making it a date. On Facebook, Ismail Lukman, thank you. Adedoyin Sonny Oluwafemi, we appreciate you. Ajia Agbomojo Olewa, Ojedo Confemi Zakios, Ilias Agoro, thank you so much. We must appreciate Ishola from Okaka, Saruna from Gomosho. Back to back, those two people called first and second in the last 2 days. Back to back. Okay. All right. I don't know. I see what you are doing. Biodun from Midoro. Thank you. I'm Sada from Okeo. Alaji Ayelabugo. I'm Safalodo from Kumapa Ilodo. Chris from Ikene. Oluyole from Yano Church. Mr. Shoyemi from Akono. Reverend Batunde from Lanlate. And Isiaka Amarafa. Till tomorrow when we come your way, I am Oladayo Ogumbo Wale.
I'm Tola Teriba.
Boluaji is right here. Up next, Sport Tidbits.
Conversation with Dio and Tola.
Oluyole.
Listen all you want. It's always free. Thanks for showing us the way to better radio.
Oluyole, 98.9. morning, Ibadan. Good morning, Oyo State. Good morning, Nigeria. Time check at 7:30 a.m. And you already know it's sport time right here on Oluyole 98.5 FM. The Trailblazer, the pride of the nation. Of course, you know that we are the numero uno, the best in the West. Oluwaje Ogumala is here once again to bring you up to speed with all the happenings in the world of sports. Bring you the latest, the hottest, and the juiciest news that you can only get on this radio. Now, not to forget exclusive interviews. Yes, today my exclusive will be coming from the Netherlands. We'll be joined, of course, we'll be hearing from former the 1996 Olympic winning coach Joe Bonfrey. Will be talking to us this morning from his base in the Netherlands. Yes, as we continue to celebrate the 24th anniversary of 96 Olympic victory on the show this morning. We'll be kickstarting from the local scene before heading straight to the foreign scene and taking a look at the championship playoff. The world final will be played later today. Yes, tell your friend that his show is on this morning. Spotted Beat this lovely Tuesday morning. Of course, you can listen to us live on the internet. Just visit www.bshows.tv/listen or watch live on Facebook. Visit www.facebook.com/Oluyole 98.5 FM and on Twitter we're at Oluyole FM. Check us out on Radio Garden or download the mobile application on Google Play Store to listen to Oluyole FM and watch BShows TV as well. A massive shout out to listeners on Agility FM 92.1 and Okyogun FM 96.3. Let's kickstart from the local scene this morning, where the Nigerian Football Federation has appointed Emmanuel Adesonya as the new Chief Operating Officer of the Nigerian National League as the NNL, the second-tier league of Nigerian football. The NFF confirmed the appointment of Adesonya, taking over from Lawrence Katken, who has done a mandatory 35 years in service. Adesonya has put in over 25 years of great service to Nigerian football, where he has served in several capacities in the federation. He was one time the inaugural secretary of Nigerian Women League and one-time secretary of the Nigerian Under-20 team, that's the Flying Eagles, and that's to the FIFA World Cup in Holland back in 2005. Of course, you remember at that particular World Cup when Nigeria lost to Lionel Messi-led Argentina team in the final. The astute football administrator had successfully handled some important departments in the NFF. Among them, he was at the point the head of Africa Interclubs and also the head of ATO Cup. His appointment came right in time when the NNL needed a capable hand to turn around the league and make it more vibrant and also lift the second tier of Nigerian league to an enviable height to change the face and fortune of the Nigerian league for the best. I wish Adesonya all the very best in this huge task. It's an excellent task, I must say, for him. Because remember on the show yesterday, I told you that Rashid Balogo, general manager of Shooting Stars, called on NFF to reconstitute Nigerian National League, and now that Adesonya has now then the opportunity to serve as the chief operating officer, he's got a big task in front of him to reposition the most important league in Nigerian football, that's the Nigerian National League. Alright, moving on this morning and heading straight to Bauchi, where the executive governor of Bauchi State, Fala Abdul Qadir Mohammed, has assured the management of Wiki Tourist Football Club of full support ahead of the upcoming 2020-2021 MPFL season. The governor made remarks while meeting with the club chairman and the technical advisor of the team, Usman Abdullah, at the government house on Sunday. He said that football is a tool for unity and is willing to make sure that the glory days of the elephants come back to the people of Bauchi State. In his response, Coach Usman Abdullah thanked the governor for supporting the club financially and otherwise, while applauding the decision to attend to the people of the state despite the tight schedule occasionally questioned by Salah celebration. He stressed that every coach dream is to make sure that he wins the title in his coaching career, and with the approach and recruitment of team that his team is making, he's sure that Wiki Tourist will not only be a contender but also a winner in the MPFL come next season. Let's see if he will be able to fulfill and of course to make it come come to pass. Moving on this morning, well, Nigerian Football Federation has set up a caretaker committee for the running of the affairs of Anambra State Football Association following the expiration of the tenure of Dr. Ifeanyi Uba-led executive team and pending the conduct of fresh elections. The tenure of caretaker committee, which will be inaugurated in Okada, Anambra State capital on Wednesday, the 5th of August, that's tomorrow, will be for a period of 3 months. This was contained in a letter sent by the NFF to the Federation over the weekend. The chairman of the committee is Mr. Emmanuel Okeke. Vice chairman, Mr. Victor Onwago. Nonso Philip was members. Secretary is Mr. Onyedika Chijioke. Well, the caretaker committee is to administer the activities of Anambra State Football Association and also conduct elections into the board of Anambra State Football Association and the Anambra State Local Football Council within 3 months, effective from today to November 2nd. Alright, moving on, let's talk about the golden boy, yes, of Nigerian and African football. Yes, his name is Victor Osimhen. On Friday, yes, his deal was confirmed. His big money deal to Napoli was confirmed, and his agent, William Davila, has revealed that the club president, De Laurentiis, and the manager of the club, Gennaro Gattuso, played a key role in Victor's decision to join Napoli ahead of other suitors. Napoli announced the signing of the young Nigerian last Friday, and his agent has said that the assurance from the president of the club, De Laurentiis, convinced Victor Osimhen that joining the Serie A was the best decision for his career. Well, undoubtedly, Osimhen is a fantastic young lad who needs regular football to develop, as he has been tagged the next Cavani, Edinson Cavani, at Napoli. In fact, some fans of Napoli are calling him the African Maradona already, while some Nigerians believe that he is the next Rashid Yekini. We keep our fingers crossed and wish him all the very best. Osimhen is expected to wear the number 9 jersey when he resumes at the club come next season. Alright, moving away from that this morning, moving straight to the continent of Africa, where the emergency committee of CAF has approved the revised calendar for the inter-clubs competition, which was affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. CAF also announced that the semi-final matches of the CAF Champions League will be played on a home and away basis later in September. Following the withdrawal of Cameroon Football Federation from hosting the Final Four, and in line with the principle of fairness, it was decided against hosting a Final Four in either Egypt or Morocco, whose representatives constitute the semi-finalists, thus Al Ahly, Zamalek of Egypt, Raja Casablanca Club Athletic, and Wydad Athletic Club, all of Morocco, still operated with the principle of fairness. The final will be played at a neutral venue. In the event, a team from Egypt and Morocco qualify from the semi-finals. The first leg matches in the CAF Champions League will be played on the 25th and 26th of September 2020 in Morocco, while the second leg actions will happen 2nd and 3rd of October in Egypt. Consequently, the bidding process has been open to member associations excluding Egypt and Morocco for the hosting of the one-off final of this year's Champions League. Interested member associations are expected to submit their bidding file, including the venue of the match and the mandatory government guarantee, no later than the 17th of this month. In case the two Egyptian clubs or Moroccan clubs progress to the final, the one-off match will be played in either Egypt or Morocco with a proposed date of 16th or 17th of October 2020. In that regard, the concerned member associations, as the Egyptian Football Association and the Royal Moroccan Football Federation, have been issued a deadline of the 15th of August 2020 to confirm their availability. CAF also confirmed that they will continue discussions with the various stakeholders on the possibilities of organizing the remaining matches of the Total CAF Champions League 2019-20 behind closed doors or otherwise. Yes, it shows that sport and of course the world is winning the war against COVID-19. Yes, football is back, and hopefully we'll begin to see fans coming in to watch football games worldwide. Heading straight to table tennis this morning, where the management of German Bundesliga table tennis team TTC Rosendale has raised the stake for Haruna Quadri ahead of the new season, which commences next month. Quadri joined the German side from Sporting in Portugal and is expected to lead the team in the prestigious European League for the 2020-2021 season, which serves off next month. According to the president of the club, Stefan Frahans, the arrival of Quadri has come with a lot of expectation from the Nigerian. Already, the team is targeting a playoff stage in the forthcoming season with the hope that Quadri will spearhead the team's campaign. While Quadri is the man for the pressure, and of course, he knows how to get the win when it matters most. Moving straight to the NBA this morning, where Anthony Davis scored 42 points and grabbed 12 rebounds as the LA Lakers clinched the #1 seed in the Western Conference playoffs with 116-108 victory over Utah Jazz on Monday night. In other games played yesterday, Memphis Grizzlies lost to New Orleans Pelicans 99-109 points, while Toronto Raptors defeated Miami Heat 107-103. San Antonio Spurs lost narrowly to Philadelphia 76ers 130-132, while Devin Nugent defeated Oklahoma City Thunders. OKC Thunders 112-113. Indiana Pacers defeated Washington Wizards 111-100 points. And that's it for the NBA there. Update coming from Disney World this morning. Alright, heading straight back to football, where Brentford will face Fulham later tonight for the chance to return to English top flight as the Premier League for the first time in 73 years and earn about £160 million in the process. The West London rivals, separated by just 4 miles, meet in the Championship playoff final at Wembley Stadium later tonight. Fulham could seal an immediate return to the Premier League should they win tonight's match. Victory in the match, often dubbed the richest game in football, would be worth about £135 million to Fulham and about £160 million to Brentford over the next 3 years. Brentford finished third in the table, 1 place above Fulham on goal difference, and won both league meetings during the regular campaign. If they fail to win, the Bees will have taken part in more unsuccessful playoff campaigns in the English Football League than any other club, with their ninth attempt. That's a very long one for them. I wish them the very best. May the best team actually win later tonight and gain promotion into the Premier League. We're talking transfer rumors this morning, where Borussia Dortmund, we understand, have set a 10th of August deadline to agree a deal for forward Jadon Sancho, who is Manchester City's top summer transfer target, to leave the club. The German club have told United that they want in excess of £100 million for the 20-year-old England winger. There is no agreement yet on a fee, which would be paid in installment. Dortmund have set the deadline because they want on the stop preparation for the forthcoming German Bundesliga season. Alright, because of my time, let's quickly talk about the man who masterminded Nigeria's victory at the Olympics in 1996. Yes, Dutch coach Joe Bonfrey has labeled Nigeria under 23 Dream Team shock victory in the men's football event at Atlanta 96 as his greatest achievement in his football career, but of course regrets that 24 years after he has not been given his winner's medal 24 years ago. And of course yesterday, 24 years ago, yes, the team shocked the entire world as Emmanuel Amuneke flicked home a 90th minute winner of a free kick after both Celeste Babayaro and Dalan Mokachi had cancelled out Argentina's goals by Claudio Lopez and Hanan Crespo, and the West African nation became the first African team to win gold medal in the Olympics football event. And the man who guided the team, Bonfrejo, looks back with pride about how it all happened. He said that the Argentine game was irrelevant relatively easier than the Brazilian game, but of course these boys were very determined on winning, and of course that was why his team came out victorious, making history during the process. But he said that he's not so happy that till date he has not been handed the promise. Said about the house that should be given to them. He has not been allocated by the Lagos State government. And he's hoping that the government of Nigeria will do the needful very, very soon. All right, let's reach out to Joe Bumfrey yesterday to talk about that experience, and he actually sent this in from his base in the Netherlands. Joe Bumfrey is on Spotted Beat this lovely morning.
Hello Nigerians, I am Bumfrey Joe, the coach of the Nigerian team that was in Atlanta 1996 Olympics. This week makes it 24 years exactly that we became the first African country to win the gold medal in Olympic football. There is no better time than now to remember the talents in the squad, the support of all Nigerians everywhere in the world. I was also coach of the Super Eagles team that was finalist in the 2000 Cup of Nations in Lagos. Achievements I share with my team and all Nigerians. I want to use this occasion to clarify my position on recent publications in some press houses in Nigeria that are not correct. The news originated from the Vanguard newspaper, which has continued to spread the information that I have accused a reliable sports radio station of misleading Nigerians. This is not true at all. In fact, I have always had a good working relation with the radio station mentioned, with many calls and some live shows as well in the studio. The quality of work done by the radio station is not in doubt.
That's actually a brief one from Joe Bumfrey this morning, and yes, we are looking to actually bring him to feature him live on Saturday Breakfast Sport in the next 2 weeks. Hopefully we would have the man to talk to us about so many things, including the controversy surrounding his comments back in March, where he was reported to have said that his boss back in 1994, Clemens Westerhoff, sold the game Nigeria lost, the Italy game Nigeria lost. But of course, we understand that the case is in court, and Joe Bumfrey has said that he was actually misquoted in that particular interview. We'll be looking to have the man to talk to us on Business Television in the next 2 weeks to actually clear the air on that particular one. All right, let's end with transfer rumors this morning, where Chelsea winger Willian, we understand, has turned down a 2-year deal with Chelsea and has held talks with over a free transfer to Arsenal, who are willing to offer the Brazilian international a 3-year contract that he wants. We also understand that Arsenal are also keen on Bayern Munich's Brazilian playmaker Felipe Coutinho and Atletico Madrid's Ghanaian midfielder Thomas Partey. Yes, so those are two players that Arsenal are looking at to actually bring out the best in the team come next season. And also we understand Arsenal forward wants to see the club sign Ousmane Dembele, who is 23-year-old. Also, United are edging closer to signing Borussia Dortmund man Jadon Sancho as soon as possible on a 5-year deal. Well, that'll be all on Spotted Beats this lovely morning. Big thanks to everyone who's in part of today's production. Bigger thanks to you for listening. My name is Oluyole. My show returns tomorrow. Till then, you'll have a lovely, lovely day and stay safe.
John, I am afraid. At Have you heard of coronavirus?
Yes, I have heard. But you can get it through contact with a person who may have the virus or live in an area with ongoing spread.
That is the problem. Before you know a person has it, you may have already gotten it.
That is why we must stop the spread.
How?
Do not shake anybody's hand and avoid touching people. Do not touch surfaces such as rails or stairs, public door handles, etc. In case you do, wash your hands properly with soap or use a sanitizer. Avoid crowded places and practice physical distancing at all times.
Physical distancing? What is that?
It means maintaining a 2-meter distance from the person nearest to you at all times. Most important, remember to wash your hands regularly with soap and under running water for at least 20 seconds, especially after blowing your nose, coughing or sneezing, going to the bathroom, or even before preparing and eating food. Avoid touching your eyes, nose and mouth with unwashed hands.
Thank you, my husband. I feel a lot better.
Now go and wash your hand with soap and under running water for at least 20 seconds so you will feel best. This message is brought to you by UNICEF Nigeria.
a ti dúró ti sú wa ó ti wá ṣẹlẹ̀ báyìí o ẹ wo bí wọ́n ṣe ń lọ tí wọ́n fi sósì fi sọ́tún nǹkan pọ̀ lọ́jà dúró fún ọ àgbájámújámú eré ìdárayá wúni lórí nínú ìfẹsẹ̀wọnsáré bọ́ọ̀lù yẹn máa ń lọ sójú ẹ̀wọ̀n ó ti wọlé sójú ẹ̀wọ̀n eré ìdárayá gbé ìgbádùn lórí GoTV kò sóhun tó dùn tó yẹ láti wò ìfẹsẹ̀wọnsáré bọ́ọ̀lù làdígà tó tayọ Serie A Premier League àti WWE bí wọ́n ṣe ń gbá wọn ó ti wà ní sẹpẹ́ ra GoTV lónìí fún $1,900 tó sì tún wà pẹ̀lú ètò ìwòran GoTV Max wọ́n ṣùkan láti gbádùn eré ìdárayá tó dojú àmì tó wà lórí Super Sport GoTV gbé pẹ̀lú rẹ̀ nífẹ̀ẹ́ rẹ̀.
So I don't write jollof rice, fried rice, pounded yam, egusi,
rice
chicken.
and stew, jollof rice.
Thank
you. All this plenty kind food one they call so. Now what you go chop for the naming be?
Yes, ma'am.
See, enjoy me.
No be small.
You see, mama baby, the same way we get different kind of food. Now so we get different kind of child-birth spacing methods. So child-birth spacing go make your belly sweet well, and your body too, it go tanda gidigba. Anyone wey you choose good for body and you go fit trust am.
Aunty nurse, my jasper don dey talk about am o, but me I dey fear.
See, no culture or religion wey no dey support anything wey go make life better. Make you and your jasper come when una ready. I go dey wait for una o.
Okay.
No forget say anyone wey you choose for childbirth spacing matter dey safe and you fit trust am. Oya waka go any health center wey get the green dot logo to get full informate on childbirth spacing services. This message na the Federal Ministry of Health and support from American people carry and come.
Òun lẹ ti gbọ́ yẹn o, kì í ṣaṣọ funfun nìkan la lára àgbẹ̀yídá jíìkì ń fọ̀. Ẹ tún lè lò ó láti fọ ohunkóhun tàbí ibikíbi láti fọ ìdọ̀tíkídọ̀tí nílé yín. Jíìkì á pa ìdá 99% ìyẹn 99% nínú àwọn kòkòrò àrùn tó ń fa àìsàn tó máa ń wà láwọn ibi tó bá ṣí sílẹ̀. Ó yá tètè lọ ra tìyẹ báyìí.
You're listening to your number one station, Oluyole FM 98.5. Good morning. Welcome to the morning shift of programs. Nice to have you join us. Funshogun Jobi is my name, and you are listening to the personal paid announcement slot. Please listen to this commercial. We, the family of Oluyole, announce